Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, a.k.a. the Black Captain, a.k.a. the Bottle Cap Kid. Sitting across from me, as always, is my good friend and easy lover. His name is Blake Clayton, the podcasting god, also known as Captain Philip Restisher. Captain, how are you this evening?
Whew. Wow, that was a lot of a mouthful.
Just one whole breath.
I'm not doing too good, man. I'm not doing good at all.
They say that 90% of language is nonverbal, and I'm looking at you, and I say you look like Sullenberger almost.
Oh, did she run for president?
No, that's the name of a sandwich at TGI Fridays they made after Sully Sullenberger, the guy who crash landed the plane into the Hudson.
Oh,
the Miracle on the Hudson. But you look like him.
I do.
Mm-hmm. And he's an old man. But you don't always look like that. You look beat down and sad right now. What's wrong?
Well, we had talked a couple weeks back about how I had to go and get my pilot's license renewed.
Yeah. And you came back here, and you're sitting with me today, so I assume everything went great, and I'm totally excited to get on board the plane today and take our show to new heights.
Well, we're going to go on. We're going to get on board.
Yeah.
And our show is going to go to new heights.
Absolutely.
But I can't drive this thing. I can't push any of the buttons. I did not pass.
You can't drive the plane?
I did not pass my license renewal.
Wow. You've been doing this for a while.
Well, we had talked, and you were gonna
Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, we were gonna Cyrano de Bergerac me with that thing in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
And I came over to your house.
Yeah.
And I brought you that box. Mm-hmm. And I said, you got to plug it in for 24 hours to charge it up.
I definitely didn't do that.
And so I charged mine up. And the next morning, I went to the PMV.
The Bureau?
The PMV.
The PMV, okay.
Yeah. And I kept restarting it and refreshing
Trying to sync up.
Yeah, sync, you know.
Sure.
And I didn't hear you at all. And
no.
I started to panic. And like I said, you are the one that gets it up and brings it down.
I get it up, and then I take it back down after that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I do all the middle stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't pass the test if you can't take off or get down.
So are you just saying that all we're allowed to do is take off and immediately land over and over again? Is that what we're doing? Are we just going to do the takeoff and landing section of the show over and over?
Well, no. I mean, you know how to completely do a plane, right? You can fly a plane completely, like from beginning to end, all the middle stuff. You just let me do the middle stuff just like because we're buds, right?
Yeah, you always say it's like when people go on a plane, they're like, "Hey, let me sit in the window seat. I want to look out the window." And the guy's like, "Yeah, because we're buds, you can." And I always say, "You want to do the middle stuff when we're driving the plane?" And you're like, "Yeah, I want to do the middle stuff." And I'm like, "You know what? Well, because we're buds, you got it."
Because that's what I was good at. Like I paid attention. Like when we went to Baghdad,
right, for our flight school.
We took turns, like dozing off, I guess, and
because,
get on our
Facebook,
sure. Get on our Instagram and stuff. Not paying attention.
If we both do half the work, then it equals one whole work.
Right. We figured an airline would have to hire both of us.
Yeah, and then we'll always work together.
Right.
And I'm never going to die, and you're never going to die, so we'll always be working together. So I'll never have to fully know the other part. I'll never have to know the middle perfectly, and you'll never have to know getting it up and then proceeding to take it down.
Right, and then that was perfectly fine, and it seemed like a foolproof plan. Mm-hmm. You might want to check your license because mine is it's nothing. I can't use it.
The only license I have is a license to ill,
which had a plane on it. So technically,
no, that's what I use. I take my album cover in, and they stamp it for another 5 years, and I'm good to go. I do want to apologize for sleeping in on the day of your test. I want to apologize for taking the box that you gave me with the headpiece and just setting it next to my toad terrarium and not doing anything with it. These are all things I shouldn't have done. Things I told you I wouldn't do, but I did them. And for that, I apologize.
But what does it say about how you think of our friendship?
I think that not much.
Because, I mean, there's been a lot of times where I've tried to talk to you about, like, really important stuff.
Such as?
My molestation.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I feel like we've been dancing.
I've shared my wife with you.
We did have a threesome. Your wife. With me.
And me.
Your wife kissed you on the mouth. Said, "Good night, Blake. I love you forever. You're my second and last husband." And then she came over to me, and I stuck my cheek out, just hoping to get a little bit of that good stuff.
Just a little touch of honey.
Boom! I got the sweetness. If I washed my left cheek since then, you bet I have not.
Walter Payton kissed you.
Was his name Sweet Stuff?
Sweetness.
Sweetness? And then Walter Payton emerged from his grave to kiss me on my left cheek. So is a threesome between me, Walter Payton, and your wife.
Wow.
It was a good one. And then
one for the record books.
First time in recorded history that Walter Payton had sex with it.
My name is Sweetness. I like to dance. Running the ball is like I'm making romance. See?
Wow. Is that the Super Bowl shuffle?
Yeah. That was his little tidbit.
I know in the song they say we're not here to cause any trouble, but I look back at the way they were dressed. I look back at their suggestive dance movements, and most specifically their lyrics. I really think they were there to cause trouble.
I think so too. And they caused some trouble on the New England Patriots. That Super Bowl.
Is that who they beat?
They recorded that, and they had that done before the playoffs even started.
A lot of times, oh my God, the Patriots win the Super Bowl. And then, boom, they got shirts and hats flying everywhere. They were all pre-made. That's one thing to have a shirt or a hat pre-made. But when you go out and you shoot a music video,
and you put out a 45 record, yes.
A music video with a rap that you're lying in about not causing, absolutely you're causing trouble with this. That's ballsy.
That is ballsy.
85 Bears for life.
For life.
We're going to hold on to that forever.
There's something else I'd like to hold on to forever.
What's that? Oh, me pressing this button?
This pilot.
You really keep bringing up the molestation, and then you won't let me talk about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
If this is your first time...
Molly actually, she said, that's not funny. She goes, if that's not true, that's not funny. I go...
She said it's not true. If it's not true?
She goes, if it's not... Yeah, she goes, it's not funny to talk about that if it's not true.
Okay.
So I guess...
So if it happened, it's totally funny. It's fair game if you were actually molested.
I guess.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we'll ever get there. I feel like the only time it ever comes up is when we're recording for, threes of fours of people to listen to.
That's the only time we ever talk. Our conversations are either via text or via microphone.
Right. Well, do you want to text molestation to me?
I can't even spell that word.
It's like it's an 8, a bunch of equal signs, and then another 8. If this is your first time joining us, I'm sorry. At this point in the show, it's a podcast. You know it's called Couch Pilots, but what else do you really know? Well, me personally, I'm a Scorpio who has to power wash the north side of his garage every year due to mold. And Blake is not a Star Wars fanatic, but specifically a Stormtrooper fanatic who can Mountain Dew drink anyone under the table. Also, we watch failed television pilots talk about them.
Blah, 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 yakety schmackety.
What were you pulling up on your phone? Our text messages?
No, I was checking our numbers.
Don't do that. You're a masochist in every form. You're a masochist in that you bring up your molestation, you don't want to talk about it, you want to look up our numbers, and you're going to beat yourself to death over that. And then, what else? Oh, the only time we ever talk is when we're podcast. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, I see you more than anyone else in my life. What more time do you want from me? Do you want me to just come over on some Monday night and not podcast with you and just sit down and talk about how you got raped? Is that what you want?
That'll
make you feel better?
We might need to do that. I don't know.
Well, you let me know, and I'll clear my schedule. I'll just put Monday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Rape talk.
great podcast. Today I was going through and like trying to think of ideas for other podcasts in case this one fails.
You can't fail if you keep doing them. No one's going to knock on your door and say, hey, you know that show no one's listening to? No more. You can do no more of it. Is that what you want, though? Okay, I know the song is on hiatus. We still do IBWIP. Every Friday that comes out. Every Monday this show comes out. You want more podcasts? You want more shows to produce?
I was just thinking of ideas. I was just trying to be creative.
Okay, were you trying to get other people involved to take these ideas?
No, I'm narcissistic. I won't allow that. I have to be on.
Do you want to talk about any of the ideas on Mike?
Sure. One was like a dad's podcast. We're dads, and we have this a dad come on the show each week, and we talk about dad stuff.
What's it called? Dadcast?
Hey, Daddy-O.
Podfather?
Ooh. Here, erase. What is it called?
Dad's on the podcast show?
Pod Dad.
We have to talk like this the whole time. I'm the Podfather.
Oh, anyway, I digress.
Is that one, or you got another idea? Give me one more. I know you got them in there.
Well, the rape cast.
That's my idea.
Okay. Well, the rest of the stuff is I show ideas, content ideas. Look.
What's that one?
It's content ideas.
All right, I can't read it from here.
Brett Conlon had his baby.
I know. You sent me the picture today. I was so happy for Brett Conlon. I know you wanted a better shot of Nani's breasts in the photo because they're, first of all, they're big.
Yeah.
Second of all, she got a baby, so they're engorged right now.
They'll never be any bigger than today.
They're milk dripping. They're dripping just...
That's a good song.
Big, juicy milk bags.
Milk dripping. Milk dripping.
I like that. I'd buy a whole album of that.
Speaking of big milk bags,
yeah,
the pilot we watched,
for sure, yeah. This, you know what? If they ever remake if Elvira ever comes back as just like a character, I would love for it to be Nani. I think she could carry the metaphorical and the actual physical weight, breast wise, of the character of Elvira.
She can pull it off. She's a little shorter. But if we put her in some heels,
see some movie magic,
and I think that slit down the dress makes her look taller than she really is.
Yeah, I love Nani. I assume I'm going to love their baby. I love Brett Conlon. I'm so happy for them. Congratulations to them all.
They looked happy.
They look very happier than I've ever looked.
Hey, I'll tell you what. That first picture that you take, with your baby mama and your baby, best picture ever.
Best picture. You hold on to that one forever.
Yeah, every picture after that, slowly your smile deteriorates.
Goes from a Brian Hackett to a Roy Biggins.
Yep.
Today we discussed the pilot episode of 1993's The Elvira Show. 1993.
What a year.
Good year. Things happened in that year. You know what things happened?
Tell me.
Islamic fundamentalists bombed the World Trade Center. Not the one you're thinking of, though.
No, that wasn't the...
It's the primer. They're pumping the prime to bring them down.
They were just aiming. They were like lining up their scopes.
Just little, like almost M80s they're throwing in there.
They're like, what can we get away with? Like, where can we go with this?
Yeah. Well, how far can we take terrorism in New York City? This was a test.
Of the emergency broadcast system.
Federal agents raid a religious cult in Waco, Texas. The made-for-TV movie of which famously stars Tim Daly from Wings. Did you know that?
It's like 7 degrees of separation. 6 degrees.
Yeah, that's right. It was
this show
right
talks about the Waco made-for-TV movie,
starring Tim Daly.
Tim Daly, who was
was on Wings, whose show we stole the intro and outro and rating system for. Yeah. That was 7 degrees right there.
That's awesome.
Do you remember the guy's name and the leader?
No.
It was the branch Davidians, and they were called Davidians as a play on the word David. David Davidians, and the man's name was David Koresh.
Ah, yes, David Koresh.
And they had a bunch of kids, and they let them go, and I think some of the women came out, and then they murdered everyone else.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think if we had a Couch Pilots cult, I think it would be a lot more fun. It would be a lot less, destructive.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously took up in a stronghold, a compound, if you will, in Waco, Texas. Where would you want to have your, an airplane hangar? Yeah,
well, I mean, that's only that's the only place you could be for it to really be. Let's say in
The branch captains.
I'm trying to think of where
we could go, or where we'd have our stronghold.
Yeah, where
the captain's lounge, maybe.
But I'm talking like what state, like what area of the country.
Oh,
Alaska.
I think there's only Nantucket Island, right?
yes,
Wings. Right.
Yes.
We go to Nantucket. We buy a building, name it Sandpiper Air. And then all of our Couch Pilots followers, all of our frequent flyers, they gather up. They pour all of their frequent flyer miles on the table, and they put their arms out, and they scoop them all up, and they put them in their knapsack, and they come join us on Nantucket.
That's what would be our message, do you think?
One and done. One and done.
Makes sense.
Ty Warner, USA, launches the first Beenie Babies. You remember Beenie Babies?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have a Beanie Baby?
I had a couple based off of like animals that I liked, but like my mom had a lot of them. She had like the Princess Di one.
Oh, sure. That's the one I always hear about, the Princess Di Beanie Baby.
Mm-hmm. And I think she had like the first one. I don't remember what the first one was. But
yeah,
they were a big thing. And then just like everything that you collect, the bottom falls out of it.
Yep.
They overproduce them, the bottom falls out, and all that money you spent, they're not worth shit.
I remember I had Tabasco the Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Tabasco company is going to sue Ty for using their name. That one's worth a lot of money. And I was like, and then my mom was like, hey, there's this girl at church who wants to buy it from you. There's this woman who wants to buy your Tabasco Beanie Baby. I said, yeah, sure. And then it never happened. I thought she was going to give me like $100 for it, which would be like a king's ransom for a child.
The deal didn't go through?
The bottom fell out.
Right before?
Right before.
A lady at church was going to buy it, and then the market fell.
I don't know if it happened then, but she never came back.
You need to push that
today. I need to follow up with that.
Yeah, I would. Is the lady still alive?
Oh, I hope not.
Oh.
After she stiffed me on that, she deserves to die.
Yeah, fuck her.
Popular films released that year: Jurassic Park, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Sleepless in Seattle. Pretty good shows.
Yeah, I think it's cool that we're doing this now, how we're talking about what happened during that year, because it helps me put into perspective what's going on.
Before, it was like, we've got, 20, 25 pilots. We can kind of toss them up in the air, measure them against each other. But now we have even a deeper context of where we were as a society and culture and how these pilots match up to what else was happening at the time.
Right.
So I agree with you. Jurassic Park, great show. No? Remember that song?
No. Doesn't sound familiar.
No? That's so famous. They even did. Seriously, that does not ring a bell with you?
No, not at all.
And then they had the T-Rex. You remember the T-Rex in that movie?
No.
Oh. Did you see Jurassic Park?
I don't think I did. I don't think I watched it all the way through.
Can I ask you what you do remember?
About Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
The guy from The Fly was in it.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Jeff Goldblum, and then that was the first Justin Bieber movie. He was in that.
No. What are you talking about?
Justin Bieber was in Jurassic Park.
I don't remember that at all.
He was the little kid. He was the kid in the big plastic bubble, like hamster bubble.
That's Jurassic World. What are you talking about? Jurassic Park, the first one.
With Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he wasn't in Jurassic World.
The lady put her hands in a big pile of shit.
Yeah, that did happen in the first one. So you remember shit and Goldberg or Goldblum?
Yep.
WWE's Goldberg.
I never watched the movie all the way through.
Never watched Jurassic Park.
I haven't even watched Jurassic World, and it has a person I like in it. I still haven't watched.
Couldn't catch it. Could never find the time to watch Jurassic Park.
So at this point, I'm 18 years old. I'm just busy finger banging girls.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get in somebody's pants to have the seal the deal.
Yeah.
This would have been. I would have been 18.
Yeah.
I would have met Angie Vecco, and that was the first girl that I had sex with.
I bet she appreciates that.
I didn't have to take her. Yeah, Angie Vecco. I didn't have to take her to go see Jurassic Park. She was a whore.
Oh, jeez.
We worked at McDonald's together, and she was a skanky whore.
It's going to be Ty Warner USA and Couch Pilots getting sued. Also, just real popular music that year: Garth Brooks, Rage Against the Machine, Phil Collins, Radiohead, Nirvana, The Proclaimers, REM, Alice in Chains, and Garth Brooks. They named Garth Brooks twice on the website.
That's how important he was.
Minus minus Garth Brooks. Holy shit! What a great year for music. I love REM. I like The Proclaimers. I like Nirvana, Radiohead. I like all that stuff.
I liked that the early Garth Brooks. That's before it became a huge It was No Fences, I think.
Before he had like a microphone permanently adhered to the side of his head.
Right.
So 1993. You said you were 18 in 1993.
Yeah.
What a time.
This is a girl I had sex with for the first time.
Why am I? Oh, Jesus. Was she a cop? Security guard?
I think she was a security guard.
Yeah, she looks like the first person you had sex with.
And I like to give my own little stories. So I thought it was so awesome that I had sex. She looked prettier back then.
Oh, well, I would hope
Tuck in
so.
your shirt, for Christ's sake, you slob.
You're representing security as a whole.
You fucking slob. What's wrong with your teeth? What happened to your teeth?
Oh, boy.
Your hair's exactly the same. Anyway, I was so happy to have had sex that now I know why.
I have to put that phone down, I think.
I know why that she did not tuck her shirt in.
Well, now I know why you're going to put the phone down. You're just going to go down a rabbit hole of depression.
No, I'm not. She's not attractive anymore.
I was 12 years old when this came out.
I'm going to finish my story.
I don't know that you are.
So we had sex on a continuous basis, frequent basis.
The first time of which was in an inclined driveway.
Right.
While you both smelled of fish fillet. Correct?
Right.
Okay.
But for some reason, I put a pair of her underwear and hung them off my rearview mirror.
Because you're a scumbag.
Because I was so proud I was getting laid.
Do you think other like passersby were like, right on, brother?
My mom used to hate. Oh, she was so mad.
Your mom knew that your mom saw that?
Oh yeah.
I cannot imagine the world of psychological shame that I would get from my mother. Like your mom, she might have physically beat you about the head for that. My mom would just put me in this world of just shame and guilt and psychological torture for something like that.
Do you think I should become friends with her just to see more pictures?
Yeah, I do.
I want to find out where she went wrong.
And make sure she listens to this episode of Couch Pilots, where she is named on numerous occasions, bashing not only her looks, but her teeth. Look who's talking. Did you put your teeth in yet?
No.
Yeah, who needs them?
Yeah. We haven't even gotten started yet.
Well,
we're 25 minutes into this and have not gotten started.
All right. Why did we choose the Elvira Show?
It was free.
Right.
It was accessible. We could find it.
Correct.
And it was a failed pilot. So failed that it never even aired.
Another one that just didn't air. And you know what? I know exactly why that is. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But first, where can you watch Terrible, the Elvira Show?
Blue Link.
Blue Link, that mother. Subscribe to Couch Pilots. Go to iTunes. Go to your favorite podcast app. Subscribe to the show. And with the show comes all of our show notes, all the wonderful things we talked about, all the references, and most importantly, the blue links to watch this show and the next show.
Yes, we always keep you ahead. We want you to be prepared.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want you to wait until that Monday when you refresh your podcast app and it says, ready. Fuzz Bucket. Like, shit, I wish I would have known that.
Yeah.
Because it's probably funnier if I've watched it along with them.
I'm in on the jokes.
Right. But now you're not. So that's why we always say, hey, here's next week's.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, too. The number one rising crime are virtual crimes. People get their credit cards stolen, their identities taken.
All the time.
It's happening every day. As we're speaking, it's happening right now. And you know why? Because people are clicking the wrong things out there.
If you click a blue link, you will never get credit card fraud or your identity stolen ever.
Yeah. All of our links are all of our blue links are backed by LifeLock. If you subscribe to LifeLock and you pay your $10 or $9.99 per month, you'll be protected on all fronts.
But even if you're not, we're willing to absorb that payment.
That's right. I'm just saying, if you subscribe to LifeLock, then you know how safe a blue link is.
Sure.
You've been down that road, and we're backed by LifeLock. So if you click one of
we're
our
sponsored
blue links,
by LifeLock.
This in every episode, put in IBWIP 20 for your savings. you're going to want to click the blue links only. Anything else, you're asking for trouble.
Sure.
And this is your warning. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. I mean, we can't do everything for you.
I'm not going to hold your hand while you're clicking a mouse.
We can't
That's
come
ridiculous.
to all 30 people's house every Monday.
I do one a week. I would make that Couch Pilots podcast promise to you.
Yeah.
But I can't say I'm going to do everyone every week. Click the blue links only. You'll be happy that you did.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
You're on your own, buddy. I'm just sitting here. I'm a passenger, basically.
Well, we're going up, so I've got that down. Maybe you can't touch any of the controls, but just maybe you can whisper to me what I should be doing.
I'll do that.
All right, there's John. See you later, Tarmac John.
You know what? I like. I at first I wasn't sure about the beard, but now I like it.
He's rocking it.
Yeah.
He
loves single life. He is living the rock star life. He's got the beard now. As a roadie for that band.
Yep. I saw him today. Yeah, you're right. He's got that full beard going, and he's smelling a little bit like booze. And I said, "What's John?" So what's going on,
Johnny
buddy?
boy?
He's like, "I was up all last night, shucking and jiving out there, partying with the ladies." Like, John, you devil dog, you.
Have you ever seen how much he can lift at one time?
He is very powerful.
He's got some strength.
Yeah, a couple years ago, we were at the same gym. I don't go to. He used to go to not Planet Fitness. Oh no, Fitness America. And that's like a roided up gym. That's
Sure.
a bunch of just big
Little
dudes.
penis, big
Tiny little penises flopping around.
veins just popping out.
And I saw him deadlift. It was like 575.
Wow.
I was over there doing like, just kind of easy in 185, 225. Just kind of, I don't want to blow anything out.
You just want to stay toned.
Right. And he's over there rocking like 575. He did a set of 5. It was 5 reps. I was like, John, this is nuts.
Fuck, why?
He had 2 weight belts on. 2.
Man, that is crazy. And he just the look on his face when he's. I mean, because the other day I parked the plane like catty corner the wrong way because we bring it into the hangar and kind of park it at an angle so
Right.
you get more than one in there.
Yep.
And I parked it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker just took it by the front tire and just pulled it over to the other side. A fucking plane, man.
That's nuts. Dude's strong. He's
Retard
got
strength.
He's got incredible strength. However you want to define it. Summary of the pilot. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. What is, before we jump into it, what is you remember Elvira?
Sure.
What do you remember her as being? Where did you see Elvira? What's your memories of her?
I just remember, like, always, like, on Halloween, she was always on commercials. Like, there's
like Bud Light commercials and
Bud
stuff
Light,
like
yeah,
that?
Bud Light, and she was always on a couch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they call it a faint couch. A faint couch.
Okay.
My grandma had a faint couch, but...
Faint Couch Pilots?
Yeah. And so, that's what I remember. And you obviously, just remember the breasts.
Oh, of course. The breasts are everything.
But I didn't know, like, I guess I always just saw her as, like, an advertisement. I never realized that she had shows and movies and
Well, I knew
pinball machines.
Oh, she does. That's right. She does have a pinball machine.
It's a nice game. It's a nice one. I like it.
Are there 2 flesh-colored balls floating around with nipples on them?
No, but she talks during it, and it's seductive at times.
I remember her, like, it was her and there was this other woman, like, late night on USA Network.
Yeah.
And the other woman was kind of a trashy blonde, too. And she would watch crappy, like, drama movies where Elvira would show crappy horror movies.
Sure, like B movies.
And that's how I remember her, as a movie Macroba or whatever it was that she hosted. But it was always like a sexual awakening. She was probably part of that for me. Because
Sure.
her breasticles are just hanging out all the time. These pure, milky white breasts.
Oh.
They're just incredible.
Man.
And she's a good-looking woman. So much so that I had to see if she had been naked in anything that she had done because I was so aroused while looking into the show. Turns out she has been. There are some fully nude photos of her, not in Elvira getup, which to me takes away from it a little bit because you want that full fantasy, right? But there are nude pictures of Cassandra Peterson out there. If you want to look at them, I know that I have.
Were they interesting?
Very much so. Summary of the pilot. Elvira has moved to Manhattan, Kansas with her wacky Aunt Minerva and their talking cat. Elvira is working as a fortune teller and selling love potions on the side. Everything is going just swell until Elvira falls for a hunk named Chip, who is actually an undercover cop there to bust her for a phony love potion that put one of her poor customers in the hospital. Elvira also learns about her long-lost niece, Paige, who shows up on the doorstep and plans to stay for a while. That's pretty much the whole pilot.
I was, as you were reading it, I'm like, okay, I marked it off the list. Okay, I marked it off the list.
We're going to break it down further.
Nothing to talk about now.
Well,
thanks, everybody, for another episode of Couch Pilots. Make sure you subscribe.
Tip your waitress. Interesting facts.
Ooh.
Here's a section where we dig into the show. We say these are things we've uncovered about the making of or behind the scenes. And these are absolute truths. These are things we know to be 100% actual. What we don't present to you are any adjectives related to those in our feelings.
Nope, do not.
Right.
Whatever you do not put an adjective in front of these.
So we're going to read them to you. And whether you enjoy them or not, whether you find them interesting, whether you find them racially charged, it's up to you. But we don't want to hear about it. You take in what we tell you, and you do what you will with them. But don't let. We're not going to mention it, and we expect you to do the same. We expect you to honor us the same way we.
Yeah,
honor
I mean,
you.
in a society or in a cult like we're organizing, there's rules.
Yeah.
And the first rule is don't give your fucking opinion.
Yeah. Second, don't talk about Fight Club.
Third rule.
Location, location, location.
And fourth rule.
Leave the toilet seat down, please.
Yeah.
Do us that favor.
Do that, or you're gonna have to drink
GTFO.
You're gonna have to drink some Kool-Aid.
That's right. CBS pilot revolving around two witches, played by Elvira, a.k.a. Cassandra Peterson, and Katherine Helmond, moving to Manhattan, Kansas with their talking cat. The pilot was never sold, and no more episodes were ever filmed.
Again, a golden nugget. If we find one that has not aired, that's a golden nugget.
Just a little asterisk by it, a little twinkle in our eye when we talk about it. Like I said, stars Cassandra Peterson as the titular, hilarious, Elvira, because she's got big tits. That's why that's funny.
Well, yeah, they're big, but I think that a lot of that is makeup and
accentuation. When you see these nudes of her, you'll come to terms with their actual size,
which is
good size, more than a handful. Mistress of the Dark, and then also Katherine Helmond of Who's the Boss fame. Katherine was Angela's horny mother on the show.
And she was also on Soap.
Also, that's exactly right. A show that I was not aware of. It had Billy Crystal, right?
Mm-hmm. And
I never watched it.
And the Benson, that's the spinoff of that show.
Okay.
And the mayor, or somebody on Soap, was that real tall guy, real kind of slow. And also, Empty Nest, I think, was a spinoff of the Soap.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Or Empty Nest was a spinoff of Golden Girls, though, I think. You don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Also starred John Paragon as the voice of Renfield. John Paragon was Jambi from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh, okay.
Mecca Lecca High.
Mecca Hiney Ho.
Mecca Lecca High. Mecca Johnny Ho.
Chinese ho?
Johnny Ho.
Johnny ho.
Johnny Ho.
Chinese ho?
Chinese whores. Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Chinese whores. Written and produced by Ann Beats of Saturday Night Live fame. Which by fame I mean she wrote a bunch of shit that no one ever really knew about. Peterson, Cassandra Peterson, a.k.a. Elvira, revealed in an interview with the AV Club some interesting facts. Their words, not mine.
Sure.
It was a pilot for CBS, and it was the happening pilot at CBS, like number one with a bullet. And then the president of CBS at the time, Jeff Sagansky, on the day that they screen all the pilots and pick the ones that they're going to go on, he got ill. CBS flew out a vice president from New York named Howard Stringer, who rejected a full season order. Apparently, he stated, "We can't have that kind of cleavage on our channel."
Huh.
And to me, in prime time, that is a lot of cleavage. And there are some very dirty jokes. I mean, they're not using four-letter words here.
Sure.
This is, early 90s broadcast TV, so everything's pretty clean. But the jokes are pretty raunchy.
Yeah, I originally I had watched the first one, Dark Man. I had watched with my stepson, and originally I had planned to watch it with my stepson Elvira, and I'm glad I didn't because it was very inappropriate.
It'd be a lot of pausing, a lot of explaining while someone's laughing at this point.
Sure,
and
sure.
that things you're probably not.
And
ready
then
to
explaining to him what a boner is and why he has it. It's like that's for your dad to do.
The Elvira. Let's break down the pilot. The summary was fairly thorough, but we're gonna break it down even further. The show opens with like a drawing of a house, and it just zooms in on a picture like it's going into the house.
Right. There was no theme music or nothing.
It just said the Elvira Show, and it was like blue and black, like a silhouette of kind of a Halloween-y kind of feel.
Yeah, and it
Not a lot.
There was no music or anything. Just there we go.
Just zoomed right into Elvira doing a reading with a crystal ball. And she's guessing everything incorrect to kind of immediately let the viewer know this is all fake.
Sure.
None of it's actual, and she's just trying to get a few bucks from a woman who came in to look at the crystal ball. Elvira sells love potion to the woman and tells her to do a naked dance around a candle, and the woman's, I don't know, probably in her 50s, 40s?
Mid-40s.
And the cat who can talk, he's like gross.
Right.
Doesn't like that.
And like it's like $99 for this potion and this candle, and she hands her the candle, and I'm like, it wasn't just a candle; it was like a statue candle,
phallic in nature.
Very much so, and it was very much so. I was like, oh, she just gave her some lube and a vibrator, basically.
This whole show should be called Vaginas, Boobs, Penises, and Have Sex with
Potato chips.
And potato chips. Yeah.
I liked Renfield though.
Yeah, well, the cat did not like the idea of that woman dancing around naked. Minerva shows up, which is the Elvira's aunt. Shows up with a shopping cart moving on its own because she's a witch.
Right. There was three or four special effects in this movie or this TV show, and that was the first one. And to me, she was playing the same character as on Who's the Boss.
Sassy old woman.
Just a little younger and a little more of a witch.
This was 93.
Yeah.
I think this is after Who's the Boss.
Yeah, but she looked better on this one. She looked younger.
She did look good.
Mm-hmm. I think she had some padding on her.
Oh, yeah.
On her, because her breasts weren't that big, but in this, they look big too. Or it could just be that my pupils had become so unadjusted to normal sized breasts that I thought everybody in this show, except the niece, had big breasts.
You had acclimated to large tickle bitties. I worry. I don't think I'd want to become a witch because I'm already a big fat guy, and then I would hate to. I'd hate to have powers to make me less physically active, like just pushing a cart. You know. Like, surely pushing a cart around kills a couple calories, but if you just start sitting on the couch and moving things around the house by yourself or having the lawn mow itself or you're putting away your own laundry, you're just sitting there controlling things.
Right, but I think they have rules and stuff. Like, I don't think you can abuse your power, just use it for whatever you want, or, like you only have, like, it's kind of like on Street Fighter, like your power bar is only.
Oh, if you use a special move, you lose some power. You mean
right?
You lose some health.
Right. You just can't like my Ardennes mode. Ding. You know,
who's your favorite character on Street Fighter?
I never played it.
Yeah, mine too. When Minerva's coming in, she's there's a golden statue by the front door. Did you notice this? It's a naked man. It's a golden statue, a naked man, and over his penis is a little sign over it. I couldn't read what the sign was. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, boy. They live in Manhattan, Kansas. Elvira is scantily clad the whole show, and I love it.
Yeah, it's the same outfit that she always wears. It's the same dress. I'd like to know how many of those dresses she had, like total.
If you could get your hands on one, would you hang it from your rearview mirror?
No. That's funny. And the house, you would expect like a haunted house and it being real dark and like cobwebs and stuff.
Yep.
But it wasn't. It was just a normal,
pretty normal 80s setup, early 90s, 80s setup.
Maybe some classic furniture, but not antique.
Yeah, a lot of books on shelves. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't look very like haunted or part of the occult. Minerva is wearing the classic shiny tights with long sweater look. Did you notice this?
Yeah.
Remember all the girls used to wear that?
Oh, yeah.
Shiny skin tight tights, and then just the long sweater that went over the ass.
And that usually had something shiny on it too.
Yeah. And I like the fashion of now, where girls are just wearing yoga pants and they're not necessarily covering up any of their nether regions, so you can see everything that's happening.
Yeah, that's a whole podcast.
I love the time we're living in right now.
Like the muffin top too. Like girls used to hide that. That was what the sweater was for.
I don't like that part of it. I don't like the muffin. I like going over to like the college campus and eating at a cool joint and then seeing all the girls come in with the tight pants on and just sneaking photos and going home and manipulating myself to them.
It does sound like a good time. It sounds like a reasonably priced, day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just going out for lunch.
Where would you go to eat?
Like One World Cafe. Or
like what days of the week do you usually go? Like time-wise?
Oh, I don't know. Like on the weekends, prime time. Why is that?
I'm just curious. I was going to see if you wanted to hang out.
Yeah, come on.
Because all we do is hang out on like Monday nights.
What is your... I don't think you believe me. I hang out with you more than anyone else. What more do you want from me? You want to go out on a date with me? Is that what this is?
Well, I don't want you to think our friendship is just about podcasting.
Is that what you think?
I think that I fear that you think that. Like that I just use
That's all we do. What else do you want to do? You want to go down to Johnson City, Tennessee with me? You want to start rapping in the Cumberland Gap? You want to sleep through driving through the Cumberland Gap and then have there be video evidence of you rapping during it but not recounting any of that?
Good times. Boobs, though.
You
I'm
put
a
me on
horrible
these,
friend. I'm a horrible friend.
You put me on these tangents
and
and try to make me feel bad.
No, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I just have issues right now.
Ones that you like to bring up but do not like to talk about. Oh, boy. Then a hunk shows up, and he's wearing a Canadian tuxedo. Elvira is in heat.
Oh, it wasn't... I mean, it was, obvious from, in real life, that doesn't happen. Like, you don't meet a girl and 30 seconds later, she's wanting to go to bed with you. It never happens that way.
It happened to me once.
What?
It happened to me once.
When?
A couple of summers ago. Yeah, a couple of summers ago, I had a one night thing, and it was pretty quick.
Was it a friend hooked you up, or
a buddy of mine came over?
Just a complete stranger.
Yeah, a buddy of mine came over with a couple of ladies, and a bunch of us were hanging out, and this one immediately came over to me, and a little bit later, it was on like So Much Donkey Dong.
Was it prearranged? Was
No.
she like somebody paid the bill?
No, no, it wasn't a whore. No.
You were just that. I mean, was it something that you were doing that attracted her? Or do you
I think
just,
everyone was just drinking.
Everybody found a partner.
No, I think there was one or two without a partner at that time, and
Losers.
Yeah, if I'm getting girls over you, then you are a loser. Hey, you know what? You want to talk? You want to talk about the time that we're taking to talk about this?
Wow.
Okay. Well, we can talk about that later. I understand Chip's scenario because he comes over. He's a hunk wearing denim head to toe.
Yep.
Elvira starts pawing at him immediately.
He's like, I'm here because I heard you have love potions.
Yep.
And I'm having a little trouble in that area.
Yep. She offers to make out with him for the potion. Elvira sees big things, quote unquote, in Chip's future, and it's her massive fucking tits.
Yeah, big things in your future, and the camera pans down to the whole looking through the crystal ball.
Do you know what this show is? This show is female married with children. That's what this show is.
Yeah,
but it's raunchy and relatively unfunny.
Sure.
That's what this is.
It's got a laugh track.
For me, it does definitely have a laugh track. For me, Married with Children, not a good show.
I
didn't like it. It was very raunchy. It was very blue collar. Played this but Ed O'Neill's good. I love. Her name was Peg on the show. What's her name? Anyways, she went on to
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, she went on to do Futurama and all that stuff.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Yeah,
the show sucked. Very raunchy, but this is like the female version of that. The girl's horny all the time.
Oh yeah, she's.
Anyway, so she's like, "I'll give you 2 for the price of 1," and she's pointing at her tits again.
Yeah, there's tons of boob jokes. It's out of hand.
And then Paige shows up. It's her niece. Knocks at the door. She thinks she's selling cookies, but she's like, "No, I'm your niece. You didn't know about me, but I was sent here from a convent." And so Chip leaves. He's like, "I'll come back tonight."
Right, when you're not busy.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, come back tonight for sure." And then Paige, her niece shows up, and then well, where's all her luggage? That's what I want to know.
She just had like a rolling suitcase.
Did she? I missed
it.
it.
She had like a real small rolling suitcase, I think. And she was very odd. There was nothing about her that was interesting. Like, the character was very blasé, very unisex almost.
Did you ever see Bruce Willis's girlfriend in Pulp Fiction, that little Chinaman?
I never saw Pulp Fiction.
Oh, God. Someday, we're going to get together. We're not going to podcast, and we're going to watch Pulp Fiction, and we're going to watch Jurassic Park, front to back.
Okay.
Here's a couple crappy jokes. Opportunity gives you knockers once, is something she says. And she says, Elvira can be the beaver. And it's talking about the show Leave It to Beaver, but she's talking about beaver as in a vagina. This is for broadcast television. This is a prime time show, probably starting in most parts of the country at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., somewhere in there.
Right.
There's a Dr. Kevorkian joke, again, kind of setting the cultural standards.
Sure.
Maybe a lot of people today are like, I don't know what that is. It's a Dr. Death.
Yeah, Dr. Death Steve Williams. No, I remember Dr. Kevorkian. That was a big thing.
In 15 sentences or less, your thoughts on euthanasia.
I think that if you are terminally ill, you are dying, and you are, in a lot of aspects, suffering, when there is only one end to that suffering, I don't think your family and you should have to go through that.
I think you should kill yourself whenever you want.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're in pain or not. If you don't want to live, then don't live. Who should stop you?
Live and let die.
Right. Just like Axl Rose once said.
When he wasn't fat.
And you know he's going to be the new frontman for AC/DC?
That's sad. That's very sad.
It is the end of an era, for sure. Then they go to a police station.
Oh, they did. They cut. It was the weirdest thing. Like, you have all these sexual innuendos. You have all this inappropriate talk. And then, are those chips?
Chips.
Chip.
Give me some of them chips.
Chip. There's a lot of chip jokes.
There are
chip jokes.
Full 7 degrees of chips. They cut to the police station. There's only 2 sets in this whole thing. It's this crappy little office in the police station, and then you've got the house that they're in for the most of the time.
Right, because all of a sudden it cuts to the attorney's office, like the attorney, like the head attorney.
Oh, is that what she is?
Yeah,
I thought she was like a police officer.
I thought she was
like
the attorney.
Either way, she's got the worst wig I've ever seen.
Oh, it was horrible.
Her hair is so stiff. It's like a piece of plastic someone put on
It's
her.
like a Barbie, like somebody, like a little girl cut her Barbie's hair.
That's exactly right.
Of course that's exactly right. I said it.
Anything you say is exactly
Can and
right.
will be used against me in a court of marital law.
Here's some more jokes. You're supposed to nail her. That's what he says to the hunk, and then he's like, "Yeah, I wish that would happen." And then Minerva says, "Go shuck yourself," like you're shucking some corn. You can't have that on TV.
There was, come to find out that this attorney, or she had the hots for Chip.
I had the hots.
And he was a cop.
Yeah,
he had a wire on him, and there was some dick jokes about a wire too.
There was a dick joke about anything. At one point, they even say "big stiff cop."
Yeah, right.
They even say that. You can't say that. This is not HBO.
He's a big stiff cop.
It's
I wrote that down.
It's not HBO. It's
No.
TV.
He comes back over, wants the love potion. She's like, "Oh, why the rush? Why the rush?"
He's still wearing the same outfit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in between there, he changed back into his cop uniform.
I didn't think about that.
And then
That's
he changed
funny.
back into the...
Well, that's his date outfit.
Yeah.
Denim equals date.
I reach for the denim when I'm about to go on a date.
And he's pressing. He's like trying to like keep her advances to a minimum.
Yep.
He's like, I really need to, I need to get that potion. She's like, what's the hurry? We don't need the potion. I can help you out. And he's like, I just need the potion. So she goes and makes like this rat poisoning potion that bubbles up, and all shit breaks loose.
Yeah. She spills it on him, and he freezes up.
Oh.
He stiffens up. And right before she does that, he's like, I kind of need it, because he hints at he has erectile dysfunction.
Sure. Which, I mean, let's face it. Mm-hmm. Erectile dysfunction is not something I'm going to joke about.
No.
We make jokes about a lot. We make jokes about colors of skin.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Man and women, how women aren't superior.
I love that kind of humor.
Dick jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's funny. But erectile dysfunction?
ED affects 4 out of 5 men.
And look, there's 2 men right here.
Yeah, so it's going to affect 4 out of 5 of us.
Right.
I mean, do the math. Load it into the pachinko machine. Tell me what it says.
You want me to?
Yeah. Plug it in. And while you're warming it up, I will say that There's too many innuendos to count.
47.
47. Thank you. Too many innuendos. They're constantly...
The bad one-liners. Just
some of the best shows we ever watch, Action Family, Look Well, so many good, clever, funny things are happening. I cannot keep up with it. The opposite is true here. I cannot keep up with how many crappy things are going on.
It's just bad joke after bad joke after bad joke.
Big stiff cop. Yeah, no wonder why it didn't make it to TV. Paige discovers that Minerva and Elvira are witches, and Paige herself discovers that she's a witch when she can hear the cat talk.
Yeah.
Which apparently only witches can hear cats talk.
Only witches can hear animals' thoughts.
And at this point, you're saying, in 3 years, Melissa Joan Hart is Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and this is exactly the show,
right?
Except without all the sex.
Without all the sex,
because you get the niece, you
got the talking
aunt,
cat,
you got the grandma.
And who was the aunt with the blonde? She was a
Caroline Ray.
I love her.
Yeah. Physically?
Big breasts.
Physically, you love her?
Big breasts. She was on like the first season of Marin.
First or second? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. I mean, I hope that wasn't really like her because she was very just meh.
Yeah, that's probably her.
But next time she comes to the comedy club here in Peoria, I'm going to try to take my wife.
Mm-hmm. Another threesome?
Yeah. Because once you have one threesome with your wife,
it's like a drug.
She can't get enough of it.
You're always chasing.
She keeps saying, she's like, when's Dustin coming over?
Yeah.
When's Biggie coming over?
Yeah, you always chase that first one.
I'm like, Mondays. Yeah, it's
always
it's like heroin. Like heroin. The first time you have heroin, it's the best high. They say it's the best high you'll ever have.
Sure,
but you'll never have a high like that again.
Yep. And so she's always like, when they coming over, and you're like, I only see my friends on Mondays. That's it.
Right.
That's when you know exactly when, but almost by clockwork when they'll be here. Why are you asking?
You actually leave when you know they're coming over.
When you're not here, you can't be involved in a threesome. So be here.
Be present.
The cops show
Always be present during a threesome because
Yeah.
it gets in the ways of those rules again.
Of it counting?
Of it being a rape.
Oh, jeez. The cops show up, and Minerva and Paige.
And it's the cops show up, and they have to scream in a what do you call those things? The bullhorn.
Yeah.
Like they have to scream through. Like it's that big of a deal. Like they can't just knock on the door and be like, "Hey."
Yeah, you start with a knock. Anyway, the cops come. They're like, "Hey, you're under arrest. You gave this potion to a woman, and she's like sick." And she's like, "No, it's all herbal tea and stuff." And the woman comes over and she says, "Hey, I'm not sick. I had pneumonia. I did what Elvira told me, and I did end up meeting the man of my dreams." So
it was the doctor at the hospital.
Yep, and they let Elvira go, and that's the end.
That's it.
And it was directed by.
I don't know.
It's directed by Pete Boners. I'm not joking. Is at the very end. Directed by Pete Boners. That's a porn name, right? Like Peter Boners. Peter is a penis. Boners is what it is.
That's crazy.
Are you looking that up right now? Do you see it? Pete Boners.
Yeah, I'm looking.
There could be no more perfect a name to be associated with this show.
It doesn't list the director. Usually it delists the director.
Well, why don't you? While you're looking that up, I'm going to play a promo for who?
Oh, a promo for one of the finest shows on FCF Network. Let's do IBWIP.
For over 8 years, Blake Clayton, the podcasting god, has brought you the best in roots music, adult comedy, and real talk with his ever-revolving cast of co-hosts in the form of It Burns When I Pee. Join one of the true podcast originators along with intern Heather and the Bottle Cap Kid as they play games, interview interesting characters, and just maybe uncover the meaning of life. New episodes of IBWIP can be found every Friday on the Fakakta Comedy Network. Check us out at fcfnetwork.com and join in on the fun. Peter Boners, born August 6, 1938.
I forgot to mute. I muted 2 of the 3 microphones, so during that whole promo, we might have been talking.
There might have been a half conversation during the promo. Mm-hmm. Sorry, folks at IBWIP.
Where my wife is titillating you with chips to, the fastest way to Jason's penis is through his stomach.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
What did she say?
She, quote unquote, I can only handle one penis.
And apparently yours is so big that I bet it's probably enough for 2 women, a.k.a. time for another threesome.
Let's do it. Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out. All right. Turbulence. The show didn't work for a handful of reasons.
Did you just push the button? Oh, you just pushed the button.
Yeah, we did that.
I was looking at Peter Boner's nose. It's like a beak.
It's like a big penis. The show is way too sexual for... Like, if it became more meta, it could retain its sexuality and be a 12-minute show on Cartoon Network. A lot of these shows, I feel like, could end up on Adult Swim.
Yeah, a lot of them were before their time, and they could have been, like you said, manipulated a little bit.
You would have to really crank up the laugh track, like, again, be kind of self-effacing, a little ironic in using the laugh track. But it's way too sexual for 1993 to be on television.
And do you think that, like, you go ahead, like us, when we do a dick joke, they always land.
Always.
Boom. And I think it's because of our cadence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, we don't just go, hey, dick joke 1, 2, dick joke 3, dick joke 4, dick joke 5.
We would never do that.
We do dick joke 1.
Boom.
Wait for it.
Timing is everything.
Dick joke 2. Wait for it. Timing is everything. Dick joke 4.
4. We skip it.
So I think, I think that's
timing is everything.
We've watched shows before where they just try to shove as many jokes in as they possibly can in 20 minutes.
It's no good. It doesn't work. It doesn't work here. I get it. You've got big, beautiful, succulent breasts. I'd like to knock them around for a couple hours. Great. Do you have to rub it in her face for 22 minutes? Please rub them in my face for 22 minutes.
This pilot is a bust.
Every synonym for breasts were used in this show.
Sure.
They were using words like beaver. They're using the word cop in the
knockers.
Word, instead of the word cock, they're using cop. Instead of fuck, they said shuck. It is a dirty. This is a damn dirty show, and it was not very funny. It's to me, I didn't think it was. There was a couple times where I had a little smirk on my face. A couple times where I tried to look up the slit of her dress a little bit, but. To me, it's not worth having a series over. I get why it wasn't aired. You can't show that on TV.
No, you can't get away with that. I don't care who you are, Elvira or not. You know what I mean? Yeah, we understand. You've made your career out of sexism, sexy sexism.
If I were to improve this show, I tell you what I would do. Matt LeBlanc had a show called Episodes. Larry David had Curb Your Enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. These are kind of scripted behind the scenes shows. I would have liked to see
Gary Sandling show.
The Gary Sandling show, of course. I would like to see the same thing with this. Her hosting a weekly horror movie show, and then her behind the scennes.
Yeah, kind of like the Muppets, the new Muppets, where it's the behind the scenes of Miss Piggy's late night show.
See, I didn't even know that about because I haven't seen it.
Why have you not seen it? How can you let something so awesome as the new Muppets show not be seen?
I work second shift. That's called
Hulu, motherfucker. It's $7.99.
I might get Hulu.
I'll give you the goddamn password.
Okay, then I will start watching it
If you
today.
come over here once a week, that's not on a Monday, to spend time with me,
that makes 2 times a week I'm over here. How much gas money do you think I have? I don't live close to here.
That's true. Maybe I should start packing up the rig and coming over there.
I'm definitely not saying that, but maybe you should come. Maybe you come to me on the other day
with the password.
You come over with the password, have it in hand, and that's how you get into the door as your Hulu password.
Okay.
To me, that's why it didn't work. It was just too dirty. But I would like. I think a behind the scenes would be kind of cool. Because I think hosting like a midnight Macroba B-movie horror thing would be fun, and to see the behind the scenes and what her life is like, trying to handle a moderate amount of fame and
do you think that you even add the actress without the Elvira stuff on it too, or do you keep her as Elvira?
No, I think you take her out of the makeup.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that'd be really fun. Hey, that's my 2 cents anyway.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Critics reviews, viewer reviews, ratings, Rotten Tomatoes. Her movie is there. I don't remember what it was rated, but her movie Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, which bombed, the rating for that there, but not for the TV show. IMDb.
I would give the Pinball Machine a rating of an 8.
We should Pincast. Pinball cast.
Pinball cast.
You love pinball machines. Why don't you just do a pinball cast? There's another idea. You're welcome. IMDb score.
But when you give me these ideas, you're giving them to everybody that listens.
There's thousands of podcasts out there. There's millions of people. Obviously, the minority of people.
The menorah?
The minority, like the Jews and the blacks and the Hispanics,
Chinamen,
and all the different Chinamen.
Do you think that there's just white people are like a minority now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's why I reach out to you, my white brothers and sisters, and put out a call to arms. IMDb scored at 8. Which, if I remember correctly, had like 40-some reviews, which means some people probably gave this a perfect 10.
There's like 84
Okay,
on here.
Stop looking at IMDb. I can't ask you what the reviews are.
Well, here's why I would look at IMDb, because I'm not good with names. And you rattle off names of people.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I use it.
That's a lot of people, though. So if you're averaging 8, then some people are giving it a perfect 10 to get it that high.
Right, but like you've said this 100 times, and the stuff that we watch, people are going to find this. Horror movie guys are geeks, and they are nerds, and they are obsessed about breasts because they don't get any breasts.
Right.
We know people that are really into horror.
Yeah.
And
Shannon?
Right. Do you think Shannon
doesn't get any breasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Except his own. Right?
Sure.
Every man has access to his own breasts.
Mine are getting bigger as the months go by.
My daughter just bought a training bra for the first time.
Were you with her?
No.
Oh, thank God. Was that a grandma or a mom thing?
It was her with her mom, and she called me, and she's like, I think she was talking to her mom. She's like, should I tell him or not? And then she goes, well, I guess I just got my first bra. Like, she was kind of like just telling me, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're growing up. And I was like, well, I tell you what, if you want, we'll go out and buy some so you have some at my house too. And she's like, I might just have my mom do it. And I was like, okay, whatever makes you comfortable. That's fine. Whatever.
That's weird.
She told me that.
Because I have all boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just can't, like, it's kind of like the whole same time as, like, the going through that thing,
Yeah. It's funny, just a couple months ago, we were walking through Target, and I was just joking with her. I pointed at the bras, because we were in the little girl section. I was pointing at the little bras. I said, hey, you need some of those yet? And she's like, no, they haven't grown yet.
Do you think her mom was just, like, trying to get her, like, trying to speed her along mentally?
No. I think there's little to no growth there, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
is it to satisfy maybe a curiosity?
I don't know.
Huh, that's weird.
But it's
but girls would know that. Girls know that kind of stuff.
Basically, what I'm saying is I'm ready to kill myself.
Hey,
and by the
me too. Let's do a death podcast.
I was say by the compact of this podcast, we should be able to do it Kevorkian style. Critic reviews, looking at the Elvira sitcom that didn't quite work. Beats, talking about Ann Beats, script does really have that sketch quality vibe to it, because remember, she worked for SNL. But she stretches the single note concept a little too thin. A standard multicam sitcom loaded with innuendo, the Elvira Show would have worked as a 5-minute bit on SNL. At 25 minutes, the show almost runs out of double entendres by the third act. Sure. That guy's not wrong. No. Way to go, Mike Shimkowitz.
Co-hosted next episode, Mike Shimkowitz.
Viewer reviews, Elvira.
We don't mind. I mean, we're fine with.
Oh yeah, I'll take a week off.
Right?
Yeah, let the Jews come in and take over for a while. I don't care. God bless them. They're pretty funny. No Big Whoop by movie man Kev. Elvira Does It Better by Arthur A. DeLuca. Sweetheart. Oh, this is funny.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay, this one doesn't make any sense. The Elvira Show is a teenager that helps her detective father solve cases while attending high school by Nexian Sarand from 2006. This doesn't make sense at all.
It's not even the right show.
The Elvira Show is a teenager that helps her detective father solve cases while attending high school. For the past 2 years, this show has had 2 big mysteries per season, each being solved by the end of the season. This is not like most shows that will string you along for years. On top of this, we normally also get a mystery of the week, or MOTW, that gets solved in the same episode. Each of these MOTWs are compelling in their own right. What is this person talking about?
Castle. That's what that person is talking about. Castle. That's what happens. There's little mysteries on every episode, but then there's one big thing that's going on during the season.
I can't even begin to put my mind where this person.
That 12-year-old should not have been typing.
Oh boy! All right, let's wrap it up. Oh boy, what was that?
We probably should have wrapped it up.
What does that mean?
The sexual innuendo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport.
Like a condom.
Local time is 11:11. and
Yeah,
temperature is
prophylactic.
69
For our
degrees.
penises.
For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
It's an amazing thing if you think about it.
A prophylactic?
No, a penis.
Oh, well, all of God's creations are amazing. So.
Have you ever seen a female cardinal? That is not amazing. That's just a brown bird.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
the male, of course, because it should be. The male is the prettier one. It's the red.
As is the way of most species.
Sure.
Because it's always about the men trying to get the women. So, of course, the men have got to be flashier to attract the women.
Sure.
So the red cardinal.
Look at the turkeys.
Beautiful male turkeys. Beautiful. There's a Mexican woman who runs the housekeeping department. Go figure, at my hotel.
Attractive, huh?
She's a cute girl. And she was saying how she found a condom in her room. And we've all found condoms in
Sure.
rooms. And I said, prophylactico? She said no. She said no.
Just no.
Trying to guess what the Spanish version of it. It was not that. Anyway, this is what I think of this show.
We're doing our ratings.
We're doing our ratings. This is right down the middle for me. This is a 4. For you, if you get a glimpse, you Blake Clayton get a taste, just a whisper of big fat breasticles, you're knocking this show up a point. That's all the show was. This show was just a big pair of tits for a half hour.
Right. That's basically what this was like a porn that Molly wouldn't get mad at me for watching.
What would you rate this?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've been known to look at pictures of young actresses and actors and
Yes, you
such to see like when they get older.
Sure. Then and now.
And this what's her name? Penelope?
Which
Phoebe? What's her name?
Phoebe? What are you talking about? The niece in the show?
Yeah.
Paige.
No, her actress name is Augustine.
Oh, I don't know. She was in Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
She's in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, she's not attractive, and
Okay.
she did not get better.
So this hurts the score of the show.
So it hurts the score of the show. No, well, let's call a spade here. Let's call a chip. Let's call a penis. Let's call a pair of boobs.
Sure, I'm on board with all that.
Yes, did I enjoy seeing Elvira prance around? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I like Who's the Boss, Grandma? Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. Laugh track was horrible.
Yeah.
Too many jokes, too many punchlines.
Yeah.
Not a scary house.
Yeah.
I'm giving it. I'll give it a 4.
4. We agree again.
Yeah.
2 shows in a row now we've agreed. This was the last one we watched, Darkman. This is better than Darkman because this is a coherent story. And you got big, fat, milky juice bags.
Right, yeah.
Gotta love that. Couple of 4s go a long way in my book.
I mean, and that's my father taught me that. Couple of 4s goes a long way.
Sure. You're down and out. You've had a little bit of a drought. Couple of 4s go a long way.
Sure. We've all been there.
Keep a man afloat.
We've all, you're out with your buddy,
Eh.
and he's, sometimes you gotta jump on that grenade.
That's right. For the good of the team, and sometimes for the good of yourself.
Right, because eventually it's going to come back to you.
Right. All that good karma you're putting into ugly woman surely comes back to a hot girl.
Hey, obviously not.
That's it. That's all we have to say about Elvira. I will never speak of it again. But we're not done as a whole. We will never be done. As long as there's garbage out there for
I don't
eyes
want
to
to be
see.
done.
No, we'll never be done. We'll never be done.
Never. Ever.
Join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Galaxy Beat. Here's a little something to whet your whistle. Dak is one of the best starship captains out there. That's why Chief reassigns him to the worst sector of the galaxy to fight evil aliens instead of promoting him. Feeling betrayed, Dak wants to quit, but his ragtag crew inspires him.
The old ragtag crew. I think we're a ragtag crew.
For sure. We're, you and me and all the FCF crew, just a bunch of social pariahs, a bunch of misfits.
Narcissistic bastards.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear the new show I was on? Did you hear my voice for an hour? Yeah, because I'm a narcissistic prick.
Right. And my thing is I was like, yeah, I heard your voice. Yeah, I checked your podcast out. Did you hear my 4 podcasts?
Yeah, you're 4. Yeah, with more to come, apparently. More in the pipeline.
Mordecai
in the pipeline. Mm-hmm. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in your iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice.
And that includes Google Music.
Oh, yeah, just today,
we're a month ahead here.
Yeah. We found out that Google Music is now, their podcast section is a go, and we are fully available. So if you're down with all the Google stuff, we're in there. Mm-hmm. We're on top of it, guys. We're on the vanguard of Google
We were there
Play.
2 months ago.
That's right. So click on subscribe to us there, and if you want to find out what's coming down the pike, open up the show notes after you subscribed and click on one of our classically blue links in the show notes. Or you can go to YouTube and search Galaxy Beat, and you will find the entire episode there.
Can't wait.
This, to me, it looks like a newer version of Starstruck, is what it looks like.
Okay.
You remember Starstruck?
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to go in order, too. There's a lot of stuff to dig in the 90s. I've got a ton of blue links on a...
those are safe.
The best links around.
Sure.
Bar none.
Like when you go to like a flea market or like an antique shop.
Yeah.
I mean, you lift those things up and look underneath them. What do you see?
Blue links.
Then it's quality.
It's time to take it home. Pay the piper. What else? Check out Couch Pilots podcast at gmail.com if you want to send us any suggestions, any ideas, anything that you think we should be doing or could be doing better.
Sure. We had the day that Fuzzbucket came out, we had somebody say, hey, on Facebook posted, hey, I think I got this on VHS.
Awesome.
I said, well, give it to us.
Give it to me and you'll get some frequent flyer points.
Yeah.
You get a surprise prize. Well, anything else before we go, Captain Restisher?
Not really. I want everybody to know that we're always thinking about you.
Always.
We care about you guys. We hope you have fun with these. I hope you check out some shows you probably wouldn't have checked out. I hope you enjoy our banter, and please tell a friend. That's the best way for us to have people find out about us.
Yeah, if seriously, if you do like the show, tell a couple people. That helps us out more than anything else. And tell them about FCFnetwork.com, the Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. It's a home to 7 unique and
deadly
fun
sins.
It's the origin of all the sins that plague the earth. But we got 7 different great shows there. They're all free. They all come out with some frequency. And yeah, they're all free. They're all fun. It's an independent brand. I feel like I'm sick of the big guys. All these guys with their money and their pie. We're just a bunch of chumps hanging out, having fun, talking about things we enjoy, and we hope you enjoy it too.
Exactly.
Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, Captain Black.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.